What you are looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is a blank canvas behind us. This is actually a current version of the world. You can see the base is over there. I am in creative mode, obviously in a backup copy, but I went through here and I actually decided to replace the chunks on which this island appeared, so that way you guys could get a look at what it initially looked like back when this island first generated. I want to kind of go through the history of this island because unfortunately today we have to talk about ending projects. We have to talk about removing projects from the slate because with the Magical Village project and other things like that, there's just no way that I'm ever going to get things like this island and building this massive volcano that I wanted to build. It's never going to happen. It was never, ever, ever, ever in a million years going to happen just because I just, you know, got out of the habit of playing for quite a while. And, you know, it's just life. You know, life just unfortunately kind of happens the way that it happens. It's unfortunate that we have to say goodbye to the volcano project. It's kind of this island's own life history. It's kind of the whole lesson of this island. Let me show you what I mean. And this, of course, is what I'm referring to here. This bubble column behind you guys should be sort of familiar, but what won't be is the mob farm that exists way, way overhead. You see, back before, you know, this was ever a realm, I created this world, and I mean, you can tell this is an initial copy of the world because there's the main base. You can see the kelp farms just kind of floating there in the water in the foreground of that little island over there, and then there's just nothing there. No structure, just a couple of trees and some boxes on a hill. But we had a mob farm up here. Now, this world was started, I don't honestly remember if it was 1.14 or if it was 1.13 still, the update Aquatic, when I had started this world. But basically, spawning in Bedrock Edition used to really, really, really suck. I built this mob farm, just kind of, I can't even remember what design this was based on, to be 100% honest, but I think it was based off of some kind of Java design. I don't even think this was based off of, whoa. off of anything else here. But, you know, we had this giant box here that, oh, now it's raining out, that basically mobs would spawn into, and then they were supposed to anyway, you know, walk over these trapdoors, and then fall into the central chute here, and fall into a little home for me to kill. Sadly, that never happened. That never happened because this thing never actually worked. The mob farm, just because of the way spawning works in Bedrock, like, and especially this was true after the update Aquatic came out, spawning was so bad in the oceans. Like, you had so much stuff in the oceans taking up the mob cap because nothing despawned in the oceans that nothing ever worked here. So I ended up ripping this thing out. And that is, of course, when we decided to do the volcano over here. What do you think? And now you will notice that a mob did just fall down out of here because, of course, I tore this down. So it was probably sometime after 1.15 had come out, but long before the Nether update. You drinking those health potions because you just fell a long ways. And you can see it's not a super productive farm. We've had a witch come out literally the whole time. That's all we've had is one witch. And I did open it up to some light and stuff, but I mean, it's still not very productive, but it would have at least been sort of productive in 1.16 with the changes to the spawning rules. But I tore it down to make room for the volcano. And now we're just kind of left with what's here today. And what's left here today is this. Of course, now we are on the actual, you know, Tritoncraft world. This is what's here now. This is all that is here anymore. And it's kind of sad, you know, but we're going to be saying goodbye to the volcano. I had mapped out these two little dirt spires that kind of pop up here and go all the way down here into the, whoa! I really got to stop doing that. That, you know, come all the way down here. I had done some sketching and stuff to kind of try to look at what I wanted this to look like. And I mean, I'm never going to be happy with anything that's going to go here. And do you want to know the really sad thing? I honestly think I may get some TNT and try to blow up this glass spire because let me tell you, all of this glass is going to take an eternity. That's like 200 blocks tall. Well, 200 is probably a stretch, but it's at least 100 and something. I don't remember exactly how tall it is. But yeah, we've got a ton of different materials that we stockpiled up here for our build. This was obviously before the Nether update came out, so you'll notice is that blackstone in here? I had to have brought this up here after the fact, because I know I planned on making this before the Nether update. Yeah, just a whole bunch of stone, cobblestone, a whole bunch of other resources that we will get to reclaim. And, you know, then we, of course, have just all these other things. But we're saying goodbye to this because today in Tritoncraft, welcome to the channel, everybody. I love your beautiful faces. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are having an absolutely beautiful day. We're building a farmer's market. My farmers have been trapped far too long inside the confines of this little house here. Hi, guys. And I mentioned at the end of the last episode that I was going to be kind of fixing these guys up and trying to finish, you know, getting some new farmers over here. I have since done that. These, let me tell you, and I'm not going to open the door now because the sun's going to go down in a moment and they're all going to go to bed and then I can go in there. But all of these farmers now are updated to the 1.16 version of the villagers. They are amazing. They give me so many emeralds, and they are able to kind of keep pace with the insane amount of production that I get out of my melon and pumpkin farm. I can't wait to go over there and kind of show you guys all that stuff over there as well. But yeah, we are going to be ripping all of this infrastructure out of here, all of the stuff from the volcano, this whole glass bubble vader. It's finally time to say goodbye because, I mean, realistically, the volcano, it's not going to happen this season. It just can't. It absolutely can't. Will I absolutely revisit this process maybe sometime in the future? Oh, you'd better believe it. I really love the idea of a volcano. I really, really would love to revisit it at some point, but I just can't do that right now. So let's get a little nap here, and I want to discuss my plans for the island here today. And I've got a whole bunch of cats that, you know, yes. Because there's villagers over here, they keep spawning. So once we rip all the island out of here, basically you'll notice there's some land missing over here. I know I'm not griefing it with, moss blocks, which you can see that little acacia tree on the island over there. I'm griefing it with spruce trees. And basically what we're doing is we are getting some spruce planted up in here. Hwaja! And we are just kind of boom, 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 boom. And then we get this beautiful stuff, which is podzol, which, can you believe I have not ever farmed in my life? Never, ever, well, at least not in Tritoncraft, never, ever gotten a single block of this. And there's a podzol forest not too far from, like, these islands and stuff. I think it's somewhere to the south of here, if I remember correctly. But I haven't been there in an absolute eternity. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over this island. So I want to rip out all of the island over here, and I want to terraform all of this anyway. If you guys saw in that initial shot there, when this island initially generated, it did have this channel connected. I have since ripped this out of here. I don't know what I'm going to do with this necessarily. I may continue to work this down and kind of make this a channel. Or what else I was thinking is this could be kind of an undersea pass-through, right? Like I could kind of come down here and you can see that there's already stuff like this down here. Like right here, there's a cave, obviously. You know, there's already stuff like this down here where I could build this back up. I could build the sandbar back up so it connects back to this island. And I don't know what would necessarily be back here because the farmer's market is going to be contained to the main island up there. Oh, that's right. I think a bunch of this sand all falls in over here because it's all, yeah. I don't know what we'll do with that back island yet necessarily, but I could put some kind of underwater, like pass-through underwater tunnel or something that goes through there. But basically, yeah, we are going to continue to plant trees over here and just collect podzol. I may have to go somewhere else and get some more podzol, but that's okay because I also have to go and pick up other resources that we are going to need, and namely, tough. So I kind of really, really love these two elements together. I think they look really, really good. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have our primary terraforming block is going to be podzol, but then we're going to have tough kind of as a path block. And we're not just going to use tough. I'm probably also going to chuck some gravel and other things like that in here, but I really think that stands out really, really nicely. And, you know, I mean, you've kind of already got like plays of this in those forests because you've got things like cobblestone, like mossy cobble and stuff that generate. And we'll probably chuck a couple other blocks in here with the block palette as well. But I'm super, super excited to get this this whole project going and to get all this stuff done. But we've got a lot of trees to plant. We've got a lot of terraforming to do. We've got a lot of old infrastructure to rip down. That is going to be such a nightmare to rip out of there. And the problem is that's all water source blocks in that column too. So I'm going to need a lot of sand to drop down there in order to be able to remove all that glass. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's got to go. It's time. It has to happen. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the throttle here and get to work. And when I see you guys again, this island is going to look a whole lot different. What a difference a couple of days make to everything here. Welcome back, everyone, to the new and improved island over here. Same place, base is still right there, same place as ever it was, but now we have got it marked out with some delicious, beautiful podzol. This is the last piece of the old island here. I just kind of wanted to leave it here for that comparison shot, but I mean, we can go ahead and get this thing out of here right now. Oh, I don't have my shovel in my higher bar. That would be why. But now we can get rid of this thing. We don't need it here anymore. That is it. So I'm going to show you guys all of the fun stuff that I have been rocking and rolling over here recently. Just kind of over the past few days that I've been just kind of... Apparently once upon a time in history, I used prismarine to fill holes in this island. I don't know why that is. Bloop. And you can see we've been chucking in a combination of cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, and then this tough block. This is the new tough from 1.17. I love the way that this plays in here. You know, it almost looks like a, you know, almost more like a more faded version of cobblestone. And you can kind of see this. I did continue this texture underwater as well. And you can really see this here. Like I said, it looks kind of more like a more faded version of cobblestone. Like maybe it's more worn or something like that. So I did parts, not the entire thing, but just parts of the island. On the exterior, we've got to get some sea decorations and those kinds of things over here. Get all that kind of stuff done in here. All right, put the helmet on and give me some respiration at least. Hoy vey. Ugh. Yeah, you can see, like I said, just the pattern here. I just wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to introduce a ton of blocks. And of course, I've been using some gravel in the area as well to kind of fill in. But then we did keep some of the sandbars in some of the certain areas. But then you can see when we wrap around this side, this is something I want to do around more of the island as well. You'll see some of the spots on the island are lit up. Some are not, unfortunately, but that's still a work in progress. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. I've been too excited ever since I started really putting this thing together to show you guys all of the progress here. But I mean, look at this. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it looks amazing, but I really, really wanted to convert this so that way I can turn this again into a farmer's market. You can see here, there's a light here, but there's not a cover on this. We'll probably end up moving this one and maybe moving a couple of these ones as well, because there's kind of a cluster right there that doesn't need to be there. But you can see this is kind of what I'm trying to go for right here is, you know, maybe we put a little bit of a plant in there again with some glowstone underneath it, but then we're putting around some of the other blocks to kind of dot around it. These I turned into path blocks just to see what that would look like against the podzol. I kind of like it. Maybe like when we build the farmer stand stalls, like maybe we'll actually use that. But like stuff like this is kind of more what I'm talking about. Like I just again loved this. This again, it just looks like a more faded version of cobblestone to me. Like I just think it looks really, really great mixed in with this block palette. And you know, I dropped the elevation of this whole thing for a good bit. And you can see we also removed our villager house. We've actually removed literally everything from this island. I filled in a huge cave over here, so nothing would spawn over there or in there. And over here in this box, and we don't want to open it right now because it's nighttime, because you can hear the noises in there right now, I'm sure. Maybe we can take a little sneak peek in there. Yep, we've got a whole ton of zombie villagers. Now this was, ow, dude. Oh, I've got thorns on too. Oh, I don't want him to die. Yeah, that was almost really, really bad. But yeah, so these are a bunch of zombie villagers. Not all of my villagers are in here. Some of them died because they either got exposed to light. An iron golem got at them at one point and was killing them, and I didn't realize it until it had already killed a few of them. So we've probably got, I think, like half of our villagers, but they're all in there. It was unintentional, but I needed to zombify and cure them anyway to bring their prices down, because most of the 1.16 villagers had not been cured like that. Only the pre 1.16 ones had, and I got rid of all those. So I really, really did need to cure a bunch of them anyway. So that'll be a future project. We've got to get all of the farm stalls and all of that stuff in place over here before we can let those villagers loose. So I've still got a lot of building to do over here before we get to that point. And you can see we've still got a little bit of a chest monster over here. I mean, these are just a bunch of extra mine carts. These all, I think, had villagers in at one point. I think I'm down more than half of my villagers, to be honest. But this is absurd. This isn't even all of them that I collected either, because I've been using them for different things as well. But basically, so I stripped out the land, as you guys saw in like the last clips. I stripped out the land, and then basically what I would do is I would put regular dirt or grass block in here, grow a bunch of trees, and get podzol, and then just kind of leave it where it lie. Like once I got the island down to the point where I wanted it to, I was basically just dropping the terrain previously and then stripping out the podzol so I could have extra podzol, and that's what's in this shulker box right here. We're doing a pretty good job on that. And then we've got a ton of sand as well, but we've also got a chest monster over here on the next extension of the highway, and I actually decided to build this because I wanted a conduit in the area. And I've got these conduits that are built off of the bridge. They're these little hanging formations down underneath the bridge. And we built a little bridge pillar over here on the other side of the platform here. Right here, you can see it. You can see it going down right there. We're still going to dig something in this, I think. And I still haven't figured out what I want to do with this other island down here, the other extension of this. I don't believe we're going to change this terrain over here. I think we'll fill this in down here, because there's like some just inlets in here, and we want to fill all these in and then put sand back over the top of them. And I think we will put something else over here, but I don't know what's going to go over here. Maybe the Fletchers can go over here. I'm not 100% sure, but we got to go to bed. Hang on. Ah, it's such a beautiful morning here. But yeah, I wanted to extend the bridge project down. We've still got more pillars to do. You can see that like the stairs are in place, but the actual bridge columns themselves are not. We've got more conduits to put in place. You can see the extensions down for those. Those aren't in place yet. There's still a lot of stuff that this is going to add to me. But I decided to extend the highway down. It was already extended down to this point anyway. But I decided to make a little turn off this way, and we added all of our lighting coming down that way. And, you know, same thing with this. I continued laying some concrete down. I think what I'm going to do is, I think because I have enough wool now, I didn't do this because I didn't have enough wool before, but I'm actually going to put carpet over the top of this where the snow is, so that way the road image is kind of continuous all the way down. I think that'll look really, really good. But just, I mean, looking at this, even flying in, I think it looks absolutely amazing. I got a little bit more work, like I said, to do terrain-wise to kind of get it sussed out to where I want it. We've still got to finish this stuff, but what I need right now is I need more tuff. So we've got a little bit of a journey to go on in order to get that. Welcome back, everybody. I have had some days here in Tritoncraft. I've had some days, but I'm thrilled to be back. First of all, I lost all my stuff. You know how much it sucks in Minecraft when you lose all your stuff, even when it's late game. Like, even when it's end game and you've got to Bort, excuse me. The gift shop is all out of Bort license plates. No. But yeah, like, you know how frustrating it is in this game when you lose everything, even late game, because you just have to grind XP to get to be able to re-enchant everything. And, you know, I had to go spend some time in the nether tunnels in order to, you know, do some bed blowy uppy miney kind of thing. It's great, and I've only entered my name, Thrill House. Oh my! I went AFK. And, you know, I mean, unfortunately, if you just kind of leave yourself AFK and you're not in a protected spot, which I wasn't, I was at the end of a mining tunnel at like minus 10,000 way out there in the new areas that we opened up, where the new 1.17 blocks are. And I exploded and I died, and I have no idea how long I had died before I noticed it on the computer because I was busy doing other stuff. And by the time I had come back to where my items were supposed to be, they were gone, including my whole shulker box full of stuff that I was using to build the new island over there, which is frustrating. Nothing that we can't replace pretty easily. I think the most pressing thing that I had in there, actually, let's grab some dirt and some gravel here because we need to make some more coarse dirt. I mean, I lost a bunch of coarse dirt, and I lost like some mossy bricks and some podzol and, you know, simple things like that. Nothing too complicated, but yeah, make sure we get some more coarse dirt. I didn't probably need that much, but that's okay. Put some of that stuff back. There we go. I did open up a little thing in the thing here for podzol in storage. And you can see we've got some copper blocks up in here, and they're doing their oxidizing thing. Essentially, I want all of these copper blocks to oxidize because they're going to be something that we're going to be using over in our build palette. But I actually want to put some of these in storage over here, some of the different varieties of copper blocks. That way, you know, if I want some in the future, I can grab them. Now, I did some reading on the wiki, and apparently these things oxidize a lot better when they're 4 blocks away from other copper blocks. Like, otherwise, if they're all stacked together, there's a chance that they won't oxidize because there's another unoxidized block near it. So yeah, I spread them all out, and as soon as I spread them all out, these things started turning like almost immediately. It's kind of crazy. So I've got these things spread all over the world right now, in the thing here. And what's up, guy? What you doing? Still collecting more melons and pumpkins. That farm is gangbusters. But let me show you guys what we collected way out there in those chunks. This is just days and days and days worth of mining off camera. But I mean, this is the biggie right here, and this is a lot of this stuff that we need here because we're going to be making a ton of copper, because I need a lot of copper because I want to make, like, you know, little farmer stands and whatnot. But we're going to use the copper because I think if you look at that, like next to the podzol, like if I grab a block of podzol and we just look at like this even exposed copper next to it, like you kind of start to see like some of those different textures kind of match up. But once you get this to the weathered stage, where this is mostly green, but it just has a few flecks of brown left in it, that's what I'm looking for, basically, the weathered and the fully converted. And then we'll have like a few of them that aren't converted, you know, at all, or they're just in this kind of, you know, exposed stage. But I really, really want to get them to the next stage past this. I think I have one in here in an item frame I can show you, if you're not familiar with it necessarily. This guy right here, like you can see this guy right here, if we put some podzol right here and slap this guy, like that is going to be a banging block palette. It's going to look so great outside with all of that podzol. I want to make sure we grab that podzol with that so we're not wasting it. But this is our item frame guy. We don't even have anything for anything else right now. But basically, I want to get some more stuff done. I want to check on the status of some of my copper blocks. I mean, this storage room is just an absolute mess right now. Aha. And we've got more of these upstairs. I started another dripstone farm. I'll show you guys that in a second because it's just taking so long to create them. Yeah, we see we've just got a whole bunch of it in here. Just a bunch of it leading down this hallway here, over by where the melon and pumpkin farm are. Just all this stuff. You know, just because I want more and more and more of these to convert. And I mean, realistically, like when it comes to copper, like you kind of want it to get all the way to the final stage, because once it's at the final stage, like it doesn't matter, because then you can always use an axe to take it back a stage or two if you want to. But boom. Yeah, see, here we go. We got another one. This is exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and collect that now. I may wax it. I may not. I'm not 100% sure. But this is exactly the stage I really want. That's going to go so good on that color palette over there. And that way we're utilizing more of the 1.17 stuff as well, which is something I really, really, really wanted to do. But yeah, let's get some food in the belly here. Yeah, I'm going to start opening some of this stuff up. We also got an absolute ton of iron over there. A lot of those chunks were the chunks before they did the hotfix for Bedrock. They had generated before that, so only 32 diamonds in. You're talking thousands and thousands of blocks mined. Granted, I was still only at Y level 11. I'm, you know, not like the trade-off, like you get slightly more diamonds from all the things that I've seen and all the different creators that have put stuff out and whatnot. You do get slightly more diamonds at Y level 5 than you do at Y level 11, but then you got to contend with lava lakes and stuff and constantly getting flooded out by lava and all that stuff, and ain't nobody got time for that. And I mean, I'm so late game anyway. Like, I mean, I've got this. This is just what's in the communal storage in here, not even including what's in the ender chest in the actual stash in there. I've got like 2 full stacks of diamond blocks. I don't need diamonds a lot, so I'm not really all that chuffed about it. Mostly I want copper and things like that. And yeah, let's just grab these guys here and let's see. I forget how much this is going to convert back into. Oh, God. Oh, that's gross. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's just gross. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. We're going to chuck that into the actual super smelter. We're not even going to use the blast furnaces that I usually use to smelt ores because I've got so much. I'm just going to stick that in there for now. We've got so much of it that it's just going to be ridiculous. But then we're going to take it out to the island out there and we're going to stage it all out there so it can all get nice and aged. And then, like you said, I want to use some of the really aged copper for a lot of the build palette over at the new base. Oh man, look at how much I have in here too. Wow. Well, we're going to save that one little stacker jack there, and all this stuff is going up in our super smelter. Yeah, let me get all this stuff kind of started. Let me get all this stuff up in the storage there, convert it over, and I will join you guys back over on the island because I actually want to get started building the market stuff over there, all the market stalls and all that kind of stuff. And I really want to start getting some of that stuff in place because I've got villagers I've got to convert back over yet. And that's going to be a huge pain. Oh, the precious copper is oxidizing here behind us on the island. Welcome back, everyone. And yeah, there's no farmer's market here yet. So you may be surprised, but may be disappointed, I should say, but not surprised that there is no farmer's market here yet. Because, I mean, we got to make copper. We got to get the oxidized copper, which is fantastic. And I want this because then I can control wherever I reduce the stage back to, because when you hit it with the axe, boop, goes back a stage. You know, but I want it fully oxidized. That way I can kind of manipulate and control where it ends up going. We've got a ton of blocks out here on the island, all spread apart, so I couldn't do it. But I also thought to myself, Nick, you need to have a way to keep the copper from being able to turn. And you guys will see that little tree, you know, back there right behind me. That's a custom tree that I made back when the 1.15 update came out. That was the bee update. And that whole little custom island that it's sitting on there, I did all of that stuff just to create some new bees. And kind of amazing. I love bees. But as you know, like the original farm that I had built over in the Magical Village, the bee hut over there broke. There were some beehives over here on the initial island on the back of the villager trading hall that unfortunately, you know, they just didn't ever produce enough stuff. And also, again, broken. So in order to be able to properly, and I mean properly build this structure over here, I love how much of this is oxidized. This stuff oxidizes so fast when it's separated out like this. So if you're trying to oxidize copper in your world, I mean, maybe you have the time to just put it together the way you want to put it together and come back and wax it later. I want the blocks to look like what I want them to look like beforehand, so I'm doing it now. But yes. Oh, I also had to move my absolute army of cats. Look at all these cats. This is absurd. Oh my lord. But yeah, I mean, stupid Enderman. I've got to find a way to stop Enderman griefing in this world because it drives me absolutely nuts. I needed a bee farm, guys. I needed a way to be able to produce enough beeswax so that we didn't have any more problems. We needed some honeycombs. These guys right here. We needed that. I needed lots of it because you have to wax copper blocks in order to stop them from changing their oxidation levels. So I decided, I talked about this in an earlier clip, but we had to modify the terrain over here on the northern part of the island, and look at this. I've got so much to show you guys. But we did reconnect this. I did build a little land bridge underneath here so we could reconnect this. And then I literally just finished building this. And there's going to be a big custom tree out here. And there's going to be tons of bees over here, tons of flowers in the open spaces that I have over here. But I wanted to just kind of build this, which is just going to be a little honeycomb and honey block and honey bottle storage area. This connects to an underground bee farm, which I'm going to show you guys in a few moments here. All this stuff is coming up from underground through a water stream into a hopper and gets delivered into this chest, and I can then take it and do whatever I want with it. There will probably end up being more honey blocks over here by the time all is said and done. But I kind of wanted this to just look like, oh my god, this is like this overwhelming area of honey storage. Here's all these barrels are going to have all different honey kinds of things in them, and then we're going to have bees popping in and out of all these hives. These hives are just decorative, so these are never going to get harvested or anything. That's why there's no smoke, and I'm not all that chuffed about any of that other stuff. But we've got, I mean, obviously, we've got so much more to do on the island here. Like I said, I want to do a big custom tree and things like that. I can see acacia out there in the distance. And in one of these boxes somewhere, I have a ton of acacia leaves and stuff. Yeah, I want to do acacia, azalea leaves. I want to do a lot of these nice azalea leaves on a big custom tree that kind of sits over here. And it's just like filled with beehives. We've got a few of them. Yeah, we've got a few of them right here. These naturally generated. I built those in the tree farm. And, oh, we got a turtle. We got a little turtle. What's up, guy? How you doing? Oh, wow. Oh, okay, then. He is not interested. So let's take off here, and I want to show you guys what we've got rocking and rolling down underneath the sea here, because I told you guys I was going to do this. We built a little pass-through. So I did end up, there's a bridge pillar over on this side. I think I showed that before. But we did build a little pass-through featuring some of the 1.17 blocks. We have our tuff in here, and we have some pointed dripstone, and then we have some glow lichen I actually stuck in here as well. And I just cut a little hole through this so that we can swim through here and just kind of decorated it around. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. I'm kind of... I hate the drowned so much. I also wish I hadn't put fire aspect on my new sword, but it did, and it already happened, and I'm fine with it. Goodbye. Go away. But yeah, I decided to make this little pass through. You guys have got to let me know what you think of this. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I kind of want to move that one piece of pointed dripstone, though. I don't think it looks as good there, or maybe it doesn't need to be as long. And then I did take some more, and I stuck it down here under the water. I kind of love this. I think it looks great right there. And even though these chunks generated well before the 1.17 update, it still looks absolutely amazing. At least I think so. But let me take you guys on a little journey over here to kill this other idiot with a trident. Go away. Over here to our underground bee farm. So I decided, I was like, you know what? I want something that's going to be like this big bee farm. Oh, here's a copper ingot. We need more. Always with the copper. Take all the copper. You know, I need a lot of honeycomb and I need a lot of honey bottles. So I decided to use a design, of course, you know it, you know, I'm going to say it already. Silent Whisperer. I used the Silent Whisperer design for some bee farms to produce both honey bottles and honeycomb. So let's step inside here and check out what we've got going on. Most of the bees look like they are actually inside right now, kind of taking care of stuff. So I've got everything sussed out. On this side over here, there is nothing but honey bottles. And then on this side over here, these are our honeycombs being produced. Now, the way that these things drop is frustrating. The honeycombs, for instance, they drop in front of the hives more often than not whenever they get sheared. So you have to have hoppers right in front of there, but there's also a hopper line underneath there, but I can't put carpets over the back hoppers. Over here, the honey bottles don't have that problem. They get shot out far enough that you don't need to worry about it, and they get shot into the hoppers that can collect them. So unfortunately, it looks a little bit different than it should. That's a little thing I just put there for bottles. I planted some flowers here so I can use bone meal on them to just be able to breed the bees up whenever I want to. And we've only got these two modules active right now, this one and this one. I need more bottles and I need more bees, frankly, in order to get the bees active and everything. We got to get all that stuff rocking and rolling over here. And then we can get more of our shears in there. I've been upgrading my shears. We can kind of go and look in the belly of the bees here and kind of show you what's going on down here. Over here on the honeycomb side, And you could just look through here. I mean, we've got, and this side, because it's facing south, bedrock is so weird. Because it's facing south, you have to build it a little bit different than the other one. So I'll show you what that means in just a moment here. Oh, are none of these even in here? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. None of them are even in there. I don't think I can access those now. I don't need to be able to technically. But anyway, I've been upgrading all of my shears with unbreaking 3 and with mending, so my shears last a really long time. This is what it looks like in a normal day, and then basically you got to fill this top one with a bunch of bottles, and then this one just gets 1, and this just kind of works. This just kind of works amazingly. Again, all credit goes to Silent Whisperer for the design. I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. And then we just, you know, I chucked in, you know, some brown concrete powder. I think this looks great. We've got some coarse dirt, cobblestone, mossy cobble, and of course, tough, kind of the block that I have been kind of using to unify and tie together all of these areas here. And then if we go further down this thing here, back into our little walkway under here, we can go down below here, and I've got some moss down here, and we can see our little dropper system. This is where all of our items come down and they get shot into the system there, up a water elevator, and they go in. I want to put some honey blocks and some honeycomb blocks in here to decorate this, but I just haven't gotten a chance to yet because I just haven't gotten a chance to yet. But yeah, you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of the honey farm. But I mean, this unfortunately took up a lot of the last few days that I've had to play the game. So I didn't get the farmer's market started yet, but I realized, like, when I build the farmer's market, when I put those like copper awnings and stuff over the little things where all the villagers are going to be doing their trading and stuff, I don't want them to move. And I don't want those to change. So I want to be able to wax all the blocks, but I need a lot of honeycomb in order to be able to wax that. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think of the little farm in here. But I mean, I gotta say goodbye, guys. I gotta say goodbye. This video is gonna get way too long otherwise. So next video, I promise, rocket launch of promise. Yes. I promise you that we are going to build the farmer's market, and we're going to get more farmers, and we're going to get all of our zombified farmers cured, chuck some weakness potions and some golden apples at them. We're going to get them all cured up. We're going to take care of business, and we are going to get our farmers all dotted around all over the place. We're going to get little stalls everywhere. We're going to bring our Fletchers over, start getting trades with them, so that way we can have some arrows to shoot apples off of heads. William Tell, maybe. I think that's where my brain honestly was going to connect that. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I want it to look like underground as well. We're just going to have honeycomb blocks and stuff. Maybe some honey blocks, maybe a few here and there, but mostly honeycomb blocks kind of chucked in everywhere. And I want to get some greenery over here. Just take a few of the azalea leaves and kind of dot those around different places as well. But that's going to do it again for another episode of Tritoncraft. I love your beautiful faces. You are absolutely amazing. You guys are going to have to let me know what you think of the transformation of this island here from what it was. And I mean, ripping down all of that glass took forever. The time lapse and me combining all the different portions in the video does not do it justice. It took ages because for whatever reason, glass takes forever to mine in Minecraft. I know I'm not the only one to lament this. I went in the water again. I still gotta fix that thing, but yeah, you guys have got to let me know what you think of the island here now that we've got it covered with podzol. I honestly really love it. I love that we've only got the sandbar really on the one side, and we've kind of converted the entire other side as well. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Please make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content and want to see more of what I'm doing. Ring the bell for notifications so you can be notified whenever I release future content. And hey, if you would be so kind, if you do like the video, please go down into the comments below and leave a comment down there. Put hashtag oxidized copper, because that is what I love. That block right there. This guy, oh, absolutely love it. I think it's so gorgeous. I cannot wait for more. Where is it? There we go. Oxidized copper. We've got so much of it. It's absolutely amazing. And we're going to be building a farmer's market with this in the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment. It really does help me out. It really helps me play that algorithm game. And I mean, unfortunately, when you do YouTube, you gotta play the algorithm game. Bloop. I love your beautiful faces. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode of Tritoncraft. Bye. We're just going to slowly sink down now until it ends. Bye.